Genuine, deep relationships are not those that fall apart at the first gust of wind or a light draft. Instead, they grow stronger and more resilient when facing the harshest storms together. Such bonds do not form instantly or by mere desire. They develop over time, not between those who still seek and love only moments of thrill, fiery passion, true coincidences, and endless butterflies in the stomach. Real, strong, mature unions arrive later, when a person has already seen what deception looks like wrapped in the guise of care, when they've learned how easily passion can be mistaken for emotional instability, and when they have begun to distinguish sincere attention from manipulation, true closeness from empty promises. Only against this backdrop, leaving behind broken bridges, shattered illusions, and foolish mistakes, can they suddenly meet someone with whom they no longer want to play the game of love. At this point, they simply want to be, to exist side by side, to breathe, to feel every moment fully. They are not perfect. He is a little awkward, sometimes tangled in words, and may not always know how to express his feelings properly. But every silence he offers is filled with presence and care. She is not one to smile out of politeness. She has learned to say no and knows well what her yes truly means. He might seem rough because he's tired of hollow conversations, and she may seem too direct because she no longer wants to be misunderstood or play a role she doesn't authentically embody. Both of them have grown tired of loud words, illusions of new beginnings, tangled feelings, and toxic swings, where one loves while the other pretends indifference, and all that is left behind in the past. Now, everything has changed. Now, to love, they don't need melodramas. They simply need to be together. Maturely, calmly, without unnecessary drama, but deeply. Because now they are no longer searching for perfection. They are seeking a profound connection, not in bodies, but in meanings, not in roles, but in genuine essence. They value sincerity and understanding over masks. When a woman says, "I am bad," he smiles and thinks, "No, you're just real." When he admits, "I am a failure," she holds him tighter and whispers, "You've lived as best you could until you met me." In their union, there's no need to prove worthiness. Both of them know love isn't a reward for pain or a merit badge, but a result of growth and awareness. They've both endured a lot already, and that's why superficial words no longer impress them. Only actions, deeds, honesty, and authenticity matter. Mature relationships are not those where fights never happen. They are those where conflict is handled so that nothing gets destroyed in the process. No one walks away in the middle of an argument. There's room for vulnerability and trust, where indifference has no place. Resentments are not stored away in silent archives but are addressed, honestly and with respect. When someone is upset, they're not enemies but allies working together to find a way forward. After a disagreement, warmth and hugs replace bitterness. It's not sorry because I have to, but sorry for the pain, because it hurts me when you're hurting. It's in these moments that a solid foundation is laid, built from simple, honest steps toward each other, from genuine care, and a real desire to understand and be understood. Relationships between two adults who have gained a certain level of inner maturity and life experience no longer require promises of eternal devotion or vows of forever. They are built not on fear of losing, but on honesty and openness. The key is to be sincere with each other, truthful even when the reality isn't the prettiest or easiest to admit. To accept that sometimes the path is difficult and winding, yet leaving isn't a solution. Because with age and wisdom, we realize that walking away isn't the answer. Running at the first sign of misunderstanding is no longer an option for those who truly value love. Maturity in love is understanding that a person doesn't have to reflect your every trait. You don't need to expect someone to think or love the same way you do. True harmony arises when both look in the same direction, even if their inner worlds differ. Wisdom lies in respecting one another's differences, accepting imperfection, and walking together, hand in hand, despite everything. Let's be honest. None of us are truly prepared for deep, genuine relationships in our 20s. Perhaps some exceptions exist, but more often than not, we simply don't realize how much depends on inner work and personal growth. In youth, it's easy to confuse passion with compatibility, attraction with destiny, sex with love. It's only with time, after years, that we come to understand that love isn't just an emotional storm or a wild whirlwind. It's a home, a refuge, a peaceful harbor. Not a carousel spinning fast and loud, but a quiet place where you want to return again and again. And those who once caused pain, breaking hearts, disappearing, hurting, will also come back. Because such people, despite everything, always return. That's a certain pattern, because souls are connected and intertwined. But now, after all the lessons learned, when it's clear that the past is merely a lesson, not a final destination, returning is no longer so easy. Now they are different. She is different, and he is different. Inside they are new people, transformed by time and experience. They've learned to appreciate what's real now, and left behind what no longer defines them. Now she's searching not for those who know how to speak beautifully but for those who keep their promises. He's done playing independence games and seeks someone who can be close without losing himself. They don't cling, chase, or plead. Their love isn't about dependence or control. It's about strength that offers support without breaking, warmth that soothes without scorching, constancy that remains even in hard times. Yes, she might sometimes seem a little crazy. He might be clumsy, forgetful, and distracted. But that's exactly what makes them unique. That's their authenticity. Because both know perfection doesn't exist. There are only compatible people, those who listen, those who hold hands when the whole world is falling apart. Those with whom you can be silent and still feel loved. Those with whom even conflicts don't destroy, but strengthen the bond. They've created a safe space for each other, but they've also learned to be dangerous in their past. There, where they loved without knowing how, where they destroyed things out of fear, where they ran from closeness, things are different now. They stayed, and they chose to be, to love, to continue walking together, despite everything. And now they sit in the kitchen. She has tousled hair, he holds a cup of coffee. They argue over small things, laugh, remember who they used to be and who they've become. And each of them understands. What they have now is worth more than everything that came before. Because it's real. Without pretense, masks, or games. Just two adults who once told themselves, I no longer want a relationship where I have to pretend, and then found each other exactly in that honesty. This is a true union, not from a fairy tale, but from real life. Where two people come not to take but to give. Not to demand but to be. Not to promise dreams but to create reality together. Where love is shown through actions, not words alone. This is their magic, their strength, their genuine love.